How to get a six pack. Now, when I was a little kid, around like 13, 14 years old, I was very chubby and I had like a fat belly and I had very skinny legs and arms and I had the worst physique. Like, I was skinny fat, the worst physique ever. But I was actually like fat, like not like fat, but I was like chubby. Like, I had chubby cheeks and I had like a fat belly, you know. And I was just so sad. I was just so depressed and I had low levels of confidence because of that. So what I did was I went on YouTube and I searched up, you know, those old videos you used to do, like how to get a six pack in 5 minutes, how to get a six pack in 2 minutes, in 5 seconds, you know. I did those workouts and I kept doing them and I was actually fairly consistent, you know. I was going every single day and I was committed. I need to lose this weight. But what happened? I didn't lose a single pound of weight. I didn't lose any weight at all. In fact, I even gained weight because those workouts made me more hungry, so I had to eat more. Until I became 14 years old. And I looked at myself in that mirror with my fat belly and my very skinny arms and my skinny legs. And I took a picture. I don't really remember if I still have the picture. But if I have it, I'll put it in the thumbnail probably. But I took that picture and I was like, I'm starting my fitness journey today and I'm losing that fat. I'm losing it no matter what. And right now I can get shredded. Like, not like shredded like with veins and all that, but I could get a six pack fairly easily, you know, and I can get very lean very easily. And just to put things aside, it's not because I work harder than you or I put more effort in, especially in the like losing fat six pack like community. It's not because I put more work in or I'm more hard working than you. It's because of just information. It's just because of information. Like, when I did those workouts to get a six pack in 5 minutes, it was working my ass off, you know. I used to do those workouts and they would burn and they would be very hard, but I didn't lose any of that fat. So there are basically mainly like 4 points in this full guide that will get you a six pack. Like, no matter what, if you do this, you will get a six pack. I promise you, bro. This is how I got a six pack, and this is how every single like shredded guy you see on Instagram got his six pack. Okay? And I know how hard it is to like have that fat and be so depressed and feel lonely and feel depressed and feel anxious, and I know how much it sucks when you have very low confidence with that belly fat and everyone's like looking at you as like the fat guy. It sucks. I know how much this sucks, and this full guide will make you get a six pack. I promise you, bro. Not like all the clickbaity how to get a six pack in 10 minutes. No, this is a full guide that if you commit to and do what I will tell you right here, because I've researched this a ton of time. I put like literally probably more than 1,000 hours researching this. You will get a six pack. I promise you. Now, here are the 4 points. Now, to get a six pack, the first thing and probably the most important thing, like, if you don't do this, you will not get a six pack. You will not. And if you only do this, you will get a six pack. Like, this literally is the most important thing to get a six pack. This is 90% of getting a six pack, literally. Like, this is the most important thing. It's not exercise, it's not how much exercise you're doing and how much you're sweating and all that BS. It's calorie deficit. Like, this is literally all you need. This is all you need to get a six pack. Now, you've probably heard this before, is to be on a calorie deficit, to reduce your calories, but you don't really know what it means and you don't understand it. I will explain it in very, very, very simple terms. Like, I promise you, this is 90 to 95% of getting a six-pack. All it is calorie deficit. Now, I'll explain this very simply. Your body eats food, right? That food has calories. And every single day you eat a certain amount of calories or a certain amount of food. And we'll call this certain amount of calories that you eat every day maintenance. Maintenance. This is like what you normally eat in a day. For example, if it's 2000 calories, you eat 2000 calories every single day. If you lower that number by 500, you are in a deficit, a calorie deficit. And if you increase that number by 500 calories, you are in a surplus. But that's not really important. I'm just saying this for information. But if you reduce this number by 500, you are in a calorie deficit and you will lose fat and you will get a six-pack, basically. Now, if you didn't really understand what I said, it doesn't matter, but I'll tell you the simplest, easiest way you could get into a calorie deficit. So basically, you probably, like right now, you understand, like, calorie deficit is basically just eating less than you eat right now. So how do we do that? All right? Same thing, same exact terms. Let's say you right now, you eat a certain number of meals per day, right? That number of meals, we'll call it maintenance also. That maintenance, for example, you eat 3 meals a day, right? If you remove 1 meal, you are in a deficit. So it's basically like the same exact thing. If you remove a meal, you are in a deficit. So basically, getting a six-pack or losing fat just comes down to removing 1 meal from your day. And why do you lose fat from that? It's a very sciencey concept that your body, like those calories that you removed or that meal that you removed, your body will now burn it as fat, if you understand what I mean. But basically, losing fat and getting a six-pack comes down to just removing 1 meal. If you eat 3 meals, make it 2. If you eat 2 meals, make it 1. If you eat 4 meals, make it 3. Remove 1 meal, and that will get you into a negative 500 calorie deficit, which will make you lose fat and get a six-pack. This is literally key. This is the key. Lowering how much you eat. And if you remove the amount of meals that you eat, the more you remove them, the quicker you will lose fat. But we're removing just 1 meal for health, because we also want you to be healthy. You know, like, yes, if you remove instead of 1 meal, you remove 2 meals, that of course will make you lose fat more and you will get a six-pack faster, but it's not as healthy. It's not healthy. To get healthy and also have a six-pack, you have to remove 1 meal. You have to be in a slight calorie deficit, not a heavy calorie deficit. This is literally the key. Like, I wish I watched this video when I was fat, you know. Just remove 1 meal. It's that simple. Remove 1 meal. If you eat 3 meals, make it 2. This is how you lose fat. See how many meals you can do. You eat in a week, for example. Like, take a normal week and see how many meals you eat in that week, and just remove 1 meal. Tell your mom, oh, I don't want another meal, I'll just eat 2 meals. It's that simple. It's that simple, bro. If you want to get a six pack, just do that. Okay? This is literally the most important thing. If you don't do this, you won't lose fat or you won't get a six pack. And if you only do this, you will get a six pack. The three other things are basically, they're also like very important, but not as important as this. Like, this is the main kit. This is the main thing. Lower the amount of meals that you eat. If it's 3, make it 2. If it's 4, make it 3. If it's 2, make it 1. Okay? Now the second thing, to get a six pack. Now you probably understood that if you want to get a six pack, you have to be in a calorie deficit. There is no other way about it. And this is literally the main thing, is being in a calorie deficit, is eating less than what you eat right now. But we could make this process significantly easier with this next step, which is picking the right foods. Now, if we eat the right foods, basically, we want the foods that give you the most amount of energy while having the least amount of calories. Because if you, for example, keep eating junk food, yes, you can be in a calorie deficit, and if it fits your macros, you will get a six pack. But first of all, it is very unhealthy. And the second thing is that it is so easy to eat more of that food, and it's very, very, very high in calories. So junk food is a no-go. I'm sorry, but you have to lower your junk food, which is basically like sugar and fried foods and like all the bakery foods, like lower all that. What you should be eating a lot of is protein and fruits and vegetables. You should eat as much as possible from these foods. And if you eat these foods like as much as possible, you won't gain a six pack. In fact, you will lose fat faster, especially protein. Now, protein is basically like chicken, like eggs, like meat, like animal foods, you know, like milk, like dairy foods and meat and chicken and animal foods. Like when you're trying to get a six pack, protein is key. Protein is king, because there's a lot of things. First of all, it's the most satiating macronutrient. So this is basically like carbs, which is like bread and rice and potatoes and all that. And then protein, and then fat. Protein is the one that fills you up the most. So the more you eat from it, the more protein you eat, the more you will feel full, and the more that you will not eat like basically like fat, because fat has the most calories and protein and carbs basically have like the same amount of calories. So protein makes you feel full, and that is what we want. All right. Also, it boosts up your metabolism, so it makes you lose fat faster. Metabolism is basically what makes your body lose weight, basically, like is how much your body burns per day, and it boosts it up. It makes it faster, so you lose weight faster. Also, it maintains or even strengthens your muscles, because muscles are made of protein, and you don't want to be losing muscle. We want to be losing purely fat. So protein is the main thing. The second thing, which is not as important, but you probably have to eat a lot of it also, is fruits and vegetables. Fruits and vegetables have this amazing combo where they also fill you up. They fill you up a lot because they're full of fibers, and they have very, very low calories. Like, why do all doctors like give fat people a salad? Because a salad has fruits and vegetables, and fruits and vegetables make you feel full while at the same time having literally like very, very, very low calories. So it won't make you gain weight. And basically losing fat and getting a six-pack is calories in, calories out. It is calories in, calories out. Like a lot of people will tell you it doesn't matter what you eat, but I actually disagree with that, because you can, in fact, like you can lose weight if you know what you're doing and you're tracking all the food. You can lose weight while eating whatever you want, but this makes it significantly easier if you eat just more chicken, more eggs, more meat, more fish, more protein, while at the same time eating like fruits and vegetables. This will make it significantly easier. All right. So this is the second thing, is picking the right food. Like I've always seen this, like people do the carnivore diet, which is basically you only eat protein. You only eat meat, chicken, milk, eggs. You only eat like animal products, and they lose tons of fat and gain a significant amount of muscle just because of that diet. And this is why, like, because protein is the key to a fat losing kind of plan, or a six-pack. If you want to get a six-pack, protein is key, while also eating a lot of fruits and vegetables. So this is the second thing. The third thing is just walking. It's just walking. And I know you've heard this advice a lot, but it works, and it also makes getting a six-pack way, 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 way easier. Walking, studies have shown that walking is the best form of cardio if you want to lose fat and get a six-pack. It is the best form of cardio because it is very low intensity, so it won't make you hungry, it won't make you want to eat. Time boosting your metabolism, so making you lose fat faster and making you get a six-pack faster, and burning more calories than, for example, sprinting or walking or jogging. So walking is key. Like, you don't have to go outside and walk every day, but you could walk every day in your home. Like, try to walk as much as possible in your everyday life. That will boost your metabolism a lot and will make you lose fat way quicker and way easier, and will make you burn more calories. Studies have actually shown that walking can boost your metabolism by 2 times. 2 times. If you just incorporate walking every single day, if you walk more every single day for like 30 minutes or 1 hour, you will lose fat twice as fast. So that is magical, man. That is magical. That is the third thing I will tell you that helped me a lot. Now, I'm gonna be honest, the first tip, which is calorie deficit, is probably the most important thing. Like, I promise you, if you just do a calorie deficit, it will make you lose fat. And the next 3 tips, which are picking the right foods and walking, and the next tip I'll say, they just make losing fat easier, but they're not the main thing. They just make it easier for you. They just make the calorie deficit easier, and they make you lose fat way easier and way quicker. But the main thing is the calorie deficit. And walking makes also losing fat significantly easier. It makes it way, way, way easier for you. And it's just actually very, very beneficial for your health, overall health. The fourth thing and the last, training apps. I don't know why I wrote it like it. It's very small, but it's training apps. Number 4 is training apps. Now, if you don't understand, your six-pack, your rectus abdominis muscle, is a muscle just like any other muscle. It's just like your chest, your biceps, your shoulders, your back, your legs. It's a muscle, basically. Your six-pack is a muscle, and you can grow it. How do you grow it? You grow it just like any other muscle group. You train it to failure with intensity, with very high intensity, while at the same time progressively overloading, while at the same time increasing the weight every week or every workout. So basically training to failure to the point where you can't get another rep no matter what, and every workout increasing the weight or the reps. Okay, progressive intensity and progressive overload is how you build muscle, basically. And the best exercises for abs for me were leg raises, any leg raise, hanging leg raises, seated leg, lying leg raises, any leg raise, and you train it till failure, till you can't raise your legs up anymore, and you train it with progressive overload where you put the weights on your legs, you increase that weight over time. This will make your abs more muscular and just bigger, and they will appear better, they will look more aesthetic. This will make it more muscular and stronger. You will get stronger and more muscular abs with the leg raises, especially in the lower abs, but your whole abs is being trained. And crunches, or weighted crunches, which is basically you lean like this and you hold the plate in your hand and you come forward. And this also is a very good ab exercise. At the same time, you do it till failure, where you just can't pull yourself up anymore, and you increase the weight over time. So the plate where you hold it, or basically you could hold the dumbbell, you increase that over time. And you can also do these exercises at home. And these exercises, not only would they build your abs, making them stronger and more muscular, they also boost your metabolism. Lifting weights boosts metabolism, which will make you lose the fat faster. Now, these are the 4 tips, basically the 4 tips that will make anyone get a six-pack. Calorie deficit, be in a calorie deficit. Eat the right foods, which are protein and fruits and vegetables, walking, and training your abs. I have to emphasize this again, that getting the six-pack is basically like the 80-20 rule. The 80-20 rule. 80% of your results will come from a calorie deficit, and 20% come from what we just said, which is like the food, the right foods, walking, exercises. These will get you like 20%, but 80% of your results come from the calorie deficit. I promise you, man. The calorie deficit is the most important thing. The calorie deficit is the main thing. The right foods, the walking, the exercises, of course, they will make you lose fat faster and easier, but they're not the main thing. The calorie deficit is what will get you 80% of your results. The food, the right foods, the walking, the exercises just get you 20% of your results. And they just make the calorie deficit itself easier. So the main thing I want you to get out of this full guide is just lower your food. Just eat less food. Eat less meals every single day. Like I kept saying, if you eat three meals a day, make it 2. If you eat 4 meals a day, make it 3. If you eat 2 meals, make it 1. Reduce the amount of meals each day by 1. It's that simple. Just see in a week how many meals you eat every single day. For example, if it's 3, and just remove 1 meal. Just remove that 1 meal. Now, it doesn't matter which meal you remove, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but just remove 1 meal. This will make you lose fat. And I'm gonna be honest, it takes time. It takes a lot of time. Like, it might feel like you're not getting results, and it's very slow, because your body is adapting to this, and it's actually burning a lot of fat, but you just can't see it. That's the thing. You just can't see it. And losing fat is honestly very slow process, but if you do these tips, I promise you it will make it significantly faster and easier. So the 4 tips are calorie deficit, picking the right foods, walking, and training your abs. I really hope this helped, bro, because I was in the same exact position as you. And as always, I love you and I'm rooting for you. Peace, take care.